Well, that was fun. Hi, everybody. This is Michelle with Moksha Grace Coaching. Thank you so much for joining me and potentially rejoining me for a moment of presence. Today's topic is about giving up. And true to how the universe always works, I was trying a new service. And it's one of those things where we had to make a decision. Is it time to give up and go back to the old way of doing things? And you know what? When something is working, right? If it ain't broke, don't try to fix it. It's just not worth it sometimes, unless you're going to improve or expand. We tried, it was time to give up. So here we are. And I am so glad that you are here with me today. So thank you for sticking with it. Thanks again for everyone that joined in last week. It was a super important conversation, and having Carrie on was just amazing. And I'm looking forward to us doing some more collaborations. So look out for that, because there will be a part 2 like we promised and talked about last week. So that was so much fun. These times together that we take every week for Moment of Presence is really a time for me to share and different aspects of my life, things, situations, experiences that I have been through and that I have worked myself through in order to help guide you and give you tips and techniques and methods that I've tried, that have helped me get to where I am today, that have helped me heal, that have helped me process, and just really help you so that way you can do it quicker, right? It's one of those things where if I only knew then what I know now, I wouldn't change. I still hold to that. I wouldn't change a dang thing about my any of my past. Nothing I would not change. Can I potentially help you process whatever it is that you're going through so that you can learn your lessons, learn from the experience, and move forward so it doesn't hold you back? So today's topic is about never giving up, or is it time to give up? Our family motto is never give up. What is the difference, right? What is the difference, and what does it mean? And what are ways that we can reframe it? We can alchemize the feeling of, when you say, I'm going to give up, there's such a negative connotation to that versus choosing to move forward, choosing something better for yourself. Interesting. I was just having this conversation with 3 clients this week. And so I'm really glad that we're doing that. What we are going to do is first, we're going to do our deep breathing. And here's what I want you to do. I want you to play with me a little bit. And as we do our deep breathing, I am going to ask you to bring to mind something that is weighing heavy on you, something that is weighing you down. It's a burden. You feel overwhelmed. You wish it just wasn't anymore. I want you to really bring that up. And I promise you that by the time we're done, you're going to feel better for having done this. So just like I said, just go with it. Just play with me. Okay. So give yourself a moment, get comfy, and take a big deep breath in. I'm just going to start with a nice cleansing breath. Hold it. And then big exhale. Now, that tension in the back of your neck, your shoulder, maybe it's your hip, your knee, wherever that is, whatever that feeling is, I want you to bring in that annoying pain or just bothersome throbbing, whatever it may be, heaviness. And I want you to bring that tension in as you breathe in. So big deep breath in and imagine it coming up. Hold it. Close your eyes and just really feel into it. You can even ask, why are you here? And then exhale slowly. Now I want you to bring up that thing that thing that weighs on you, that thing you're worried about all the time, the thing that you don't want to do, whatever it is for you, whatever you're lugging around with you. And if you have to pretend to open up your big old baggage of your emotional baggage in your suitcase, go do it. Grab whatever's at the top. And I want you to bring all of that in as you breathe in. Hold it. I want you to feel it. I want you to really feel it. How heavy is it? And then slowly exhale. Good. So I want you to keep that, whatever that is, and I want you to keep that picture of that burden, that heaviness, right at the forefront right now, like as if you're holding it. Which, by the way, I happen to have brought props today. So let's say you're holding your big, heavy burden, and you've been holding it for a really long time. And maybe it's sitting on your shoulder. Maybe it's behind your neck. But you're holding it. And you can do this. You can practice this. This is my burden. And I am going to be so committed to this burden. I'm not going to give up. My ego won't let me. And I am going to hold on to this burden because I have to. Because somehow, some way down the road, I was told that this was my burden to bear. And I'm going to hold it. Now I'm cheating a little because my elbow is actually on the desk, but I've done this exercise. And I did this, and I had to bring up a family member's addiction and their troubles. And I had been lugging it around and carrying it around as if it were mine. And I was given this exercise to try. And I went outside and I took a big old block, a couple of rocks, actually, piled them up, picked them all up, and I held it. And my arm started to quiver and shake. And I held it some more, and I held it some more. And the coach at the time said, keep holding it. And my arms were shaking more. And when I had tears in my eyes from the pain from my arms, they asked me, are you ready to let it go? Are you ready to give it up? And that's what today is really about. Those burdens, the heaviness, the situations that we think we have to do on our own. When is it time to give that up? Not give up the goal, not give up the hope, not give up the belief, but give up the burden. Release it to the universe. Release it to God. Release it to whoever you believe in. Because whatever is your flavor is good for you. And that's all that matters. But this right here, this burden, you can decide to give up. You can decide. You are empowered to take it, bless it, thank you, but it's not mine anymore. I'm giving you up. And then you get to put it down. Now, here's the thing. Just because you put it down doesn't mean that it went away. And that's important. My loved one didn't go away. But the burden I felt, the responsibility I felt for their burden was not on me. I gave it up. which then allowed a metamorphosis, a shift in our relationship. Now, here's the tricky part. You can lay this burden down, you can give it up, and guess what happens? Every single time, ultimately, something else will pop up that was just like that heavy burden you carried for so long. And you can say that it's a test to see, are you really done? Or do you know how to process it quicker? Do you really want to get rid of it? Because that burden is going to be whispering in your ear. And so it gets smaller, but it's still there. It's lighter, but it's still there. And so you can process this one. You can do your shadow work. You can talk with that inner voice. Don't let me go, right? They sit right here on your shoulder. Don't let me go. I'm going to be here. I'm your friend. I'm going to protect you. I'm anxiety. And I'm going to go with you everywhere you go to make sure you don't get in trouble. When do you want to give that up? Because when you're in the moment and you're being, you can't be worried about the future and you can't be feeling guiltful or shameful about the past. You're just being. And so when you decide to give this little guy up, okay, awfully sandy, then you know what happens? It comes up again. But this time, can you see it? It almost fell out of me, fell out of my hand. See it? That little thing. Now it's much smaller, way lighter. But imagine what this feels like if it's stuck in your shoe. And it's just this one little thing stuck in your shoe, and every time you step just the right way, it comes up and you feel it. It's one little bitty rock. And that's what it's like when you don't process a trauma, a emotional feeling that keeps bubbling up. When we feel like we're not doing enough. When we feel like we're doing too much and no one's helping us, and we're angry and we're bitter and we're resentful about it, but we don't really want to tell anybody about it. So we just put a smile on our face and we just go about our day. And this little rock is stuck in our shoe and it pokes us all day long. Are you ready to give it up? Because these are all choices that you are empowered to make. Nobody else can make decisions for you but you on how you want to feel. People can tell you, I need you to go do this, or you have to go do this. But just because you're told that, you decide if you are going to play along. Is this job important enough for me to go and do this? Is this job providing for me for the things that I love in my life, that I want to keep this job, that I want to be good in this role? If your answer is yes, then you're making a choice to do it. So you can't go blaming your boss or your coworkers that you're being asked to do something that you don't want to do. Because what's the outcome? If the outcome is providing for you, then it's actually something positive. So do you see how we alchemize this and we turn this around? You always have a choice, always. And the choice is always yours. You come home and the house is a mess, the dishes aren't done, no one's done their homework. Maybe your husband, partner, spouse is going out. Who knows? Maybe it's softball night. I had a lot of those. And you get to decide how you're going to show up in that situation, that scenario, and turn it around. All right, everybody, let's get to work. You take dishes, you take cleaning up the living room, you take this, set the table, I'll make dinner. Let's get to work. You're choosing, because those are the things that have to get done. But if you're going to walk in, oh, woe is me, here we go again, nobody ever helps, nothing gets done. Do you see the difference? This is what you walk in with when you walk in with the negativity. And this is contagious. Because as you carry it around and you give that attitude to everyone else in the house that you love, guess what they now have on them? The same old weight. So you get to decide if you want to continue the pattern, and it can be at work, it can be at home. You get to decide if you're going to continue that pattern or if you're going to give it up. Why do you want to be walking around? Why would anybody want to be walking around in circles in the same pattern over and over and over and over and over and over again? See, I told you I was coming with props today. Give up the spinning. So this topic today was not about giving up on life. This was actually about giving up what's holding you back. Giving up the things that block you. Putting down the heavy weight. Other people's problems are other people's problems. And you can help them. You can listen. But you can't save them. You can't rescue them. And you can't do it for them. You can't fix them either. I have another client that's going through something with their spouse. You cannot fix somebody. You cannot change somebody to make them who you want them to be. Either you love them unconditionally or you love them because you feel like you have to. And you pick up the weight and you carry it and you lug it around with you everywhere you go. And here's the other thing. This is a fact. Fact. You can process it and turn this into a different emotion. You can run out the door and find a new job. You can find a new spouse. But if you do not process this weight comes with you and it creates the same situation wherever you go. So you've got to clean up. You got to clean up the mess and you got to process it. You got to process it so that it gets smaller. It turns into a smaller rock, and then it turns into a pebble. And then once we're done with the pebble, we can take that old weight. I'm not going to do it right now, but you can totally smash it and turn it into little sand granules. Emotions are always with us. Our shadows, they're always with us. It's just a matter of how big are they? How heavy are they? So I hope that gave you a little bit of clarity. And really, it's not just about giving up. It's not. This is about letting go. So let go of the weight. Let go of the burdens. Keep the hope. Keep the belief. Keep the faith. I think there's a song about that. Keep your smile. Keep your positive outlook on what is possible. And imagine what is possible when you take your shoe off and you knock the little pebbles out. And then you can be free to walk around without any of the pain and any of the hurt. I am truly grateful that you were here with me today. And I look forward to next week's topic. And remember, when you wake up every day, you get to make those choices. Is it going to be a good day? Is it going to be a heavy day? Is it going to be a light day? But choose wisely. And if you want help, book a call. We'll chat soon. Bye.